What's up, Nonstop Nation? Long time no see. Well, I have an amazing idea. At least I hope you guys think it's as amazing as I do. I want to review the flying experience on major airlines during the pandemic. Sort of. So as I'm sure you guys know, most major airlines have introduced safety measures for passengers to reduce the spread of the virus to very varying degrees. Wow, talk about alliteration. It's not a real secret that I don't think Qatar Airways sucks, but I want to start with them in this video series because I think that their pandemic flying experience might be among the most different from before. And of course, we can only hope that airlines don't take this as an opportunity to cost cut and that these measures are truly temporary. Now, there's just a small problem with making this video, which is that I don't actually want to fly anywhere right now. Some aviation YouTubers and travel vloggers have already started flying a bit already, but personally I don't feel it's responsible to do that, especially when you have a big audience. I need to operate within these constraints, and luckily I've been able to compile everything I could find about the Qatar Airways COVID-19 flying experience for you guys without actually flying. Also, you can see I'm wearing my new merch in this video. I have caps, I have a bunch of different things. I'm going to talk more about it in the next video. Right now I'm just wearing two things with the same design. I have 3 different new designs. You can check it out in the description if you want to already, but yeah, much more on that in the next video. So I am about to show you everything that Qatar Airways is doing to keep us safe, but honestly, how can we expect an airline to keep us safe if we can't even keep ourselves safe? Online security is one of the biggest safety threats nowadays, and the best way to protect yourself from it is using a VPN. That's why I'm so happy that today's video sponsor, NordVPN, is offering you guys 70% off a 3-year plan for as little as €3.11 per month with a month free and a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if your security isn't worth that price per month, I don't know what is. Besides, NordVPN has the fastest VPN servers in the world, which is perfect for streaming content on Netflix or other streaming services to access content from countries around the world that you wouldn't normally have access to. And there's so much to watch, so do it safely and head over to NordVPN. You can also use code NonstopDan for the 70% discount on a 3-year plan. Check it out at the top of the description. So let's dive right in by talking about what the Qatar Airways flying experience was like before the pandemic. Now, starting in economy class, I haven't tried their long haul economy in a few years. I have a review from last time I tried it. I tried it on a short haul flight in January this year. But all I've really experienced is the seat. I've sat in it a few times on the inaugural to Gothenburg, for example, which was a year and a half ago. And I've tried their cuisine and meal service, which you can see here. So in business class, Qatar Airways is known for doing pretty much everything good. They have a world-renowned seat, one of the best in the world, the Q Suite. They have among the best onboard service in the world, if not the best, and just amazing amenities from meals to amenity kits, entertainment, all that good stuff. When you board and get to your seat, you're greeted by at least 2 flight attendants, one which will be your dedicated flight attendant for the flight, and the purser. They give you a tour of the seat. They ask you if there's anything they can do. They usually offer a drink of choice from the entire beverage menu and a choice between a hot or cold towel. They also run around the cabin offering everyone refills pretty much until the point when you enter the runway. After takeoff, you'll be given another drink of choice, warm nuts, and you can eat at pretty much any point during the flight because they have dine on demand. The flight attendants also often walk through the cabin just checking if anyone wants anything. When you do decide to eat, the meals are served restaurant style where they put all the dishes directly on the table. And I think personally Qatar Airways is my favorite meal presentation in the world. You also get the cutlery along with it, which is beautifully laid out on the table as well. There's even a fake candle. When it's time to sleep, you have 2 pillows in Q Suite along with a plush blanket, and they also provide turn down service where they add sheets and a mattress pad. Additionally, you also get noise cancelling headphones on all flights and an amenity kit on flights over 3 hours. So, what's changing? Well, I've compiled some footage that Qatar Airways has published themselves showing how things are changing at this time, and I'm going to put some of it here in a montage to give you some highlights, but there's much more than that they only wrote in a press release that I'm going to let you guys know about after we've seen this. So let's start in the back of the bus. Nothing is fundamentally changing in economy class. All passengers on the entire plane will be required to wear masks now. It's not really clear how Qatar Airways will be enforcing it or what you're supposed to do when you're eating, etc. But that's the basic idea. Everyone should be wearing masks throughout the flight. Otherwise, passengers will continue to be served their regular cuisine meals since they're wrapped in plastic anyway. And everyone, including in business class, will have access to hand sanitizer in all the galleys. Now, hot topic, as far as social distancing, the airline actually doesn't make any promises, which makes sense given that the masks should do enough work. If the flight isn't full, the airline says that the gate agents might move people around to increase the distance, but I don't really see Qatar committing to the social distancing thing, and I get it. Airlines want to fill their aircraft, and if you're flying right now anyway, it's probably still for some essential reason, and then you just got to get there whether you're close to other people or not. But it is good to be aware that you can end up on a completely sold out flight and be surrounded by two strangers. Now, business class is seeing a few more changes which impacts the luxury of the experience. I guess that's understandable right now. The most noticeable thing for all us foodies is that the meals are going to be served on trays rather than directly on the table. Many airlines already do this in business class, so this is where Qatar comes closer to the competition, but of course it eliminates part of the element of luxury. I'm guessing this is to reduce the amount of contact between the passengers and the crew, and also so the crew don't have to touch dirty dishes, glasses, that kind of stuff, to minimize the spread. There will also be the option to have cutlery served plastic wrapped instead of laid out. It's not mandatory, so you decide how you want to do it. They've also announced that they'll close off all onboard social areas. Besides the A380 onboard bar, I can't really think of any. The A380 is grounded with Qatar anyway. They do have like a kind of bar in the entry of the A350 and 787, but I don't really see people socializing there in normal circumstances, so now I don't really think it will happen regardless. Other than that, as far as the onboard product, the experience is remarkably consistent and similar to what it was before. As far as I can tell, the airline will still continue to provide blankets, pillows, and headphones to all passengers, which is nice since some airlines have removed those as well. Maybe this just goes to show which airlines actually wash their linens between flights, and the ones that don't are the ones that are removing them now. Ooh. They also take a moment, which is smart marketing wise, to highlight that Q Suite has, of course, a closing door and offers more privacy than almost any other business class in the world. There's also a do not disturb button for people who don't want to interact with the crew at all to minimize that contact. They can just press it and then the crew won't come. Now for the biggest change in the experience, which will be interacting with the crew, because they will be required to wear full body personal protective equipment suits along with goggles, a mask, and gloves. That sounds crazy and exhausting because Qatar Airways crews already work their ass off under normal circumstances, and the service changes don't really mean less work for them. So I can just imagine working a 10 to 15 hour flight. It just sounds horrible. Not only that, but all crew working short or medium haul flights will do a direct turn back to Doha. Now, it's not exactly clear what Qatar actually defines as a medium haul flight, but I assume they're including some routes to Europe and maybe even East or Southeast Asia in this as well. And in these cases, there will be two crews on board. So one of them will work the outbound flight and one of them will work the inbound. It's not clear where the crew will be sitting when they're not working, if they'll be in business or economy, but this sounds like an exhausting day. If anyone has any idea what routes this applies to, please let me know in the comments below because I'm just super curious. Thankfully, the airline highlights that all these changes are temporary, which at least gives me a little bit of hope that the airline will try to get back to normal as soon as possible, because none of us want to feel like we're in a hospital when we're on a plane, but of course, safety takes precedence during these times. And the last thing worth mentioning is the efforts going on at Qatar Airways Hub at Hamad International Airport in Doha. Here's a video showing some of the highlights of what they've been doing there.
We are adopting new wearable intelligent technology. Smart screening helmets are safe and effective. It uses advanced technologies like infrared thermal imaging, artificial intelligence, and augmented reality display. We have also introduced disinfection robots, which reduce the spread of infectious germs in crucial areas using ultraviolet light. Thorough sanitization and disinfection will continue to take place at all high contact areas.
RoboCop is real. So yeah, flying Qatar Airways right now will not be like we're used to, especially visually with the crew wearing full body PPE suits, but it's not quite as different as they could have made it in the end. Personally, I won't be rushing to fly Qatar Airways or any other airline for that matter, just because I don't feel the need or desire to fly in the current environment. It just seems like it will be a very intense experience, and I really can't see leisure travel picking up too much with the flying experience being like this. Of course, safety is a priority, but I think all these measures really highlight that right now, flying should really only be done out of necessity, and Qatar Airways' actions and their entire motto of taking people home seems to reflect that. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, getting fully caught up on if you decide to hop on a Qatar Airways flight today. What will it be like compared to my previous reviews? I have a bunch of reviews of them, so you can check them out at the card. I always forget which side. It's one of them up here, and you can see what the normal Qatar Airways experience is like, that you can take into account these changes I've mentioned in the video, and maybe you'll have a better idea of what to expect. And let me know if you want more of these videos for other airlines like Emirates, Singapore Airlines, whatever it might be. I hope you guys found this useful, knowing how much the Qatar Airways experience has changed. And yeah, there's such large variations in how the experience is changing on different airlines, so I think it will be very interesting to do more videos to compare what's going on. But for now, thank you so much for watching as always. Until I see you all next time, stay safe.